Hey everyone, happy Tuesday. Excuse me, it's Jen Quam in British Columbia, Canada. I am not on the beach anymore. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. It was minus 24 Celsius here this morning. So we've gone from plus 30 to minus 24. So that's actually pretty cold for here in November, but it happened. So it was a big temperature swing. So when you guys are jumping on, let me know where you're watching from. So I got this voice thing going on that I'll talk about probably tomorrow, and some hot travel tips and why it's always important to have travel insurance. But let me know where you're watching on. If you're watching on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, hey, no matter where you're watching from. I want to talk about manifesting. I was in Punta Cana for 8 nights. On an incentive trip with my company, and I've had a lot of people reach out to me and say, wow, you're so lucky. I'm not lucky. I am intentional. And I want to talk about how you can manifest things to make them happen in your life, but you need to do it in the right way, and luck has nothing to do with it. So, yeah, we were in Punta Cana for 8 days. It was my fifth incentive trip that I've earned with this company. And I've earned other incentive trips with my previous company, but my fifth and the fourth one that I was able to attend because in 2020, it obviously was canceled due to things in the world. But um, with this particular company, I've gone to Mexico twice, Costa Rica, which was amazing. I will be going back there. And then the Dominican, we were just in for 8 days, which I've been to the Dominican before, but the first time with my company. And these trips are pure holidays, right? It's not a conference, it's a pure holiday where you get to hang out with your friends. You get to make new friends. You get to have delicious food and hang out on the beach and, just laugh. And it truly is being on a vacation with your friends. So it's amazing. So I've had a lot of people reach out in the last week, asking, like, how do you earn these trips? Like, what do you do? And man, you're lucky, which, I don't believe in luck. I believe in people, good things happen to those people that work their, what's off, right? So I want to talk about manifesting and how that can happen. So let's use an incentive trip and a beach vacation for an example. If you, a sidebar, if you're not a traveler, everyone needs to be a traveler. Like, I really believe in that. I really believe, we talked about on this trip a lot, actually. The Dominican is an incredibly poor country. And I had a couple team members go out and kind of see the real part of the Dominican, and it really impacted them. It was super powerful for them, because it saddened them. And we talked about on this trip, I think our boys, well, when we took them to Cuba, that was kind of their first big trip. I think they were 11 and 8, and we made a very intentional choice to do a tour that drove through like the real part of Cuba, like where people lived. And our son, who's now 21, still talks about that trip. When he was 11, he just kept asking me, people live in those, right? Like, yeah, that dirt floor is their floor, right? So it really impacted him. So everyone needs to travel and see the world, because you need to have experiences, but you also need to understand how other people live and how fortunate you are. So let's use that incentive trip as something maybe you want to manifest. So maybe you've never traveled, or maybe you have traveled, but you've never traveled to the beach, and being on the beach is your dream vacation. So let me know in the comments where you're watching from and where your your dream destination is, right? If you could go anywhere in the world, where would it be? So let's pretend for a second that one of your dream vacations is to go to the beach. And the Dominican, I will say, has one of the most amazing beaches. It's like that white baby powder, fine white sand, just like you see in the movies. It's really cool. So your dream is to go to one of those beaches, okay? So I want to talk to you about how that's going to happen, right? So manifesting is very powerful, and there's so much science around it. But I want you to stop manifesting and visualizing yourself sitting on the lawn chair on the beach. Okay, I want you to stop that. That's the part you're doing wrong. What I want you to think about is what it is going to take to get there. So if you were on my team and you wanted to earn the incentive trip, I would encourage you to visualize, doing the work when your voice hurts, right? Like still showing up and doing your videos. I want you to think about, I'm in social retail, right? So my job is, doing those posts maybe when I'm exhausted, or doing those posts. I have worked so much in hockey arena parking lots and school gymnasium parking lots, right? So I want you to start visualizing, like, when am I going to do that work in those pockets of time? When am I going to do that work when I'm tired? When am I going to consciously choose to show up all the time, right? So let's use another example. If you want to think about, you want to make maybe 5 or 6 figure income every single month. Yes, I said month. I don't want you to think about or manifest just the visualization of all that big fat money hitting your bank account. I want you to think about, what is it going to look like? So think about, are you working at 5 in the morning? Are you working before the kids get up? Are you working with your hair up on in a mom bun on the top of your head? Are you thinking about, maybe you have to work when the kids go to bed after? Um, Maybe you want to run a marathon. Let me know. Is that something that's big on you? You want to run the marathon? I don't want you to think about mile 26.2 or whatever it is, where you cross the finish line. Everyone's like, yeah, you did it. I want you to think about when your alarm clock goes off at 5 in the morning and you roll over and it's pouring rain outside and you still drag your butt out of bed and you go running. I want you to visualize running those miles every single day in preparation of the actual marathon. Okay. Maybe your goal is to invest some money and really create some financial stability. Again, I don't want you to think about like what that financial stability brings you in terms of materialistic things. I want you to think about, every month I am going to invest into something that'll compound. That's the key, that'll compound, right? I want you to think about, every month maybe I won't buy that, I don't even know Starbucks, you guys, but double, triple latte, fresh foamed, milk free, whatever it is. I'm not going to buy that $9 thing at Starbucks every day, right? Even though I really want it. Maybe your dream is to own a puppy that you've always wanted. I don't want you to think about just a cute puppy. I want you to think about, having a dog for life and having to get up in the middle of the night with it. Puppies are like babies, I'm telling you. So are you willing to get up in the middle of the night? Are you willing to clean up the messes on the floor and the shoe that gets chewed up? So manifestation is a very, very powerful tool in visualization. I encourage everyone to do it. I just don't want you to do it wrong. I want you to not think about the end result, but to think about what it is going to take to get there, because that is how you're going to make it happen. Dream bigger, my friends. If I could give you any piece of advice tonight, I would say dream bigger, because everyone I know, including myself, are not dreaming big enough. Having said that, you have to really think about, how am I going to do that? And I love the analogy about the marathon, right? The marathon is, you have to get your butt out of bed and run those miles on the days you're sore, on the day when the weather isn't good, on the days when you realize you never charged your AirPods and now you're going to have to run it with the silence of your own thoughts. So really dig deep when you're manifesting and think about, what do I have to do to make it happen? Every single person I know can be on those incentive trips if that's important to you. I came from a life that money was an issue, and traveling was just kind of off of my radar as a kid. And I have traveled so much, truly, since I became part of this industry. And I had 2 team members come this time. Every year I've had more and more team members. So 6 people are into this year. But 2 of them that came, it was their first incentive trip. And you cannot even explain what it's like until someone does that and earns it for themselves through hard work. And they get to be there and they deserve to be there and they get to be part of the fun. So whatever your dream is, manifest it, write it down, but break it down into those tiny little pieces of those days when you're going to have to put in the work when you don't feel like it, because that's where change happens. that's where the magic happens. And that's where your manifestation is going to turn your reality or your dreams into reality. So if this was helpful, feel free to share it. Um, and yeah, just dream bigger, you guys. Like I hear that every time on these incentive trips. I hear that from every single person because there's always people that it's their first time. I never thought I could do this. I never thought I'd be here. I never thought I'd be here with all of you guys. It's like meeting celebrities. So we all have to dream bigger in our lives because dreams are what inspire us and other people. Feel free to share this if there's someone out there that you know that maybe needs a little push and just needs some skills and steps on how to make their dreams and realities come true. Have a good night, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow.